welcome back to this channel. This is part 2 of our road trip from Phobjika to Bumthang, and trust me, it has been quite the journey, which is why I had to split it into 2 parts. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I have linked it above and in the description below. Definitely go and check it out first. In the first part, we started our morning in the gorgeous Phobjika valley, soaking in those views from our cozy guest house. And after a slow breakfast and some quiet time around the property, we hit the road towards Bumthang. Along the way, we stopped at Lavala Pass, where we not only admired the stupa but also quite unexpectedly picked up some super warm yak wool shawls, which totally saved us later in the Bumthang's chilly weather. We also made a peaceful stop at Chorten just as we crossed from Wangdiforang into the Trongsa district. And then came one of the highlights, the Trongsa Dzong viewpoint. Even from a distance, the Dzong looked absolutely majestic perched over the hill. And now it's time to continue the adventure and see it all up close. Let's go. The Trongsa Dzong viewpoint and the Trongsa Dzong are on diametrically opposite mountains, and so right here is the U-turn point at Bijizam that I was earlier talking about in part 1. From here we are swinging across to the next mountain where the Trongsa Dzong is waiting for us. It's like 1 minute you are staring at it from across the valley and the next you are on a whole new mountain to actually reach it. From the Trongsa viewpoint, we covered about 6 kilometers in just 10 minutes, and now we are taking a pit stop at the much talked about Willing Waterfall Café. This place has become a bit of an Instagram star, and you will see why in a second. There's a natural waterfall right inside the cafe garden that looks absolutely stunning as a backdrop, so of course we had to stop and check it out. The cafe itself is nestled along the Wangdiforang Trongsa highway, and it's so charming. It's cleverly designed to look like a traditional Bhutanese bridge stretched over a running stream.
এটা কি অরেঞ্জ? হ্যাঁ, মিনি অরেঞ্জ। কি সুন্দর এখানটা তো। Okay.
Travelers embarking on a long drive between Bumthang and Gangde should consider a stop at this charming cafe. A waterfall flows down the mountain into a small flower-lined stream that passes under the restaurant, creating a built-in natural soundtrack. You can enjoy a quick coffee or a picnic to break up the drive. And bonus, clean bathrooms. Always a win on a long road trip. Just look at how beautiful this waterfall looks. I'll just zoom in and show you a bit. As you can see, when we reached here, the place was completely full with all the tourists, and all of these tourists we kept on meeting again and again because all of us were headed towards the same destination, which is Bumthang, and that too for the festival season. Let me just walk you up to the waterfall so you can see what it looks like up close. And as expected, it's even more magical when you are right next to it. The sound of the water, the cool mist in the air, and the way it flows straight through the cafe garden. It's like stepping into a mini fairy tale. I'm absolutely chilled to the bone right now and need a hot coffee or a tea
How much
ASAP.
is the final cost?
And guess who we just bumped into? Someone you have already met in my Phobjika vlog.
Hello. You want? You want? Okay.
It's a small world, right?
262.
We thought of grabbing a seat by the waterfall outside, but turns out all the tables were taken which honestly was a blessing in disguise because it was freezing out there. So we cozied up inside instead, and the vibe was just as lovely. Besides the beautiful waterfall, the real gem of this cafe was actually their staff. Honestly, they were the sweetest, so kind, warm, and genuinely welcoming. We had their roasty, and trust me, sipping on that warm floral tea in this cold felt absolutely perfect. I especially fell in love with their butter cookies, so much so that we packed a few extra for the road ahead. Price wise, I did say it's pretty reasonable, like what you did pay at any good cafe in the city. And honestly, with a waterfall view like this, it feels totally worth it. I have been lucky enough to visit Bhutan twice in a year, and I have been sharing all these magical moments from both the trips right here on my channel. You will find dedicated playlists for season 1 and 2 packed with everything from trusted tour operators, hotel recommendations, local food trips, sightseeing highlights, and details about the SDF. If you still have any question, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll be reverting back. If you have found my content helpful, I did appreciate if you could subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an upcoming vlog from Bhutan or beyond. We are now on our way to the Grand Trongsa Dzong. And look, that's a sabzi market. This is probably the first time on this trip that we are not making a pit stop at a local veggie market, and if you have been following my vlogs, you would know that we had quite a love affair with the sabzi markets. We have just reached the entrance of Trongsa Dzong, and wow, it's massive. The scale of it up close is even more impressive than it looked from the viewpoint. Let's head in and explore. Here Funsho is giving us a quick refresher on how to tie a kabne, that long silk scarf worn over the ko, which is Bhutan's traditional male attire. He had actually shown us this before during our visit to the White Temple in Ha Valley back in season 1, but I requested a repeat demo this time too, because let's be honest, it's not as easy as it looks. The color of the kabne is more than just a style choice. It signifies the wearer's social rank. White is for the regular citizens, orange for the government officials, and saffron is reserved for the king. It has to be worn on formal occasions and when entering government buildings like dzong and temples. Trongsa Dzong doesn't have any entry fee. Yes, you heard it right. And here's something interesting we noticed during our travels. When we were exploring western Bhutan, like places like Thimphu, Paro, Punakha, almost every dzong and temple had a pretty steep entry fee. But as we started moving towards the central and southern Bhutan, suddenly almost 99% of the sites are completely free to enter. It really helps bring down the overall trip cost and makes exploring feel a lot lighter on the pocket. Naturally, we were curious and asked Funsho why this difference exists. He explained that the fees are mostly based on how popular a monument is with the tourist. So the more visited it is, the more likely it is going to have a ticket or an entry fee. Makes sense, right? Known in Dzongkha as Bazam, wooden cantilevered bridges are ingenious ancient engineering solutions and are symbolic architectural icons very unique to Bhutanese culture. It blends well into the scenic landscape and gives a surreal look to the entire place. It's November, which is the peak tourist season in Bhutan, and yet here's something interesting. We have barely seen any Indian tourists heading beyond Punakha. Most of the folks we have crossed paths so far on this route has been other foreign nationals. Now, even though there is a quite bit of tourist movement heading towards Bumthang, surprisingly Trongsa Dzong seems almost deserted right now and devoid of any tourist rush. Honestly, it feels like we have got the whole place to ourselves and we are not complaining.
We're here at the Trongsa Dzong. This Trongsa Dzong is considered as the longest and then the largest dzong of our country, Bhutan. It was not built initially as a fortress here, so that happened in the 1543. So they just built here the small temple, and then that small temple was built by the great master known as Ngage Wangchu. So Ngage Wangchu, so he was a great Buddhist master, and then he built here the small temple in the 1543, and then later in the 1647, in the time of the unification of the country, there was a leader known as Chogil Mijur Tempa. So he was actually appointed as a leader who can lead in terms of unification of the eastern part of Bhutan, and then he was appointed by the Zhabdrung, the founder of Bhutan, and then he constructed the official fortress here in the 1647. Yeah. And after the construction of the fortress here, then it played a vital role in terms of defending against the enemies, and then in order to bring control of the eastern part of Bhutan under the government of Bhutan in that way. So it really played a vital role in the past. You can see the big, the old cypress tree here. Some oral history says like it really helped in terms of protection, so because the enemy on the other side, when they shoot the arrow, so most of the arrow like landed up on this one. Yeah. In the 18th, 19th century. So this Trongsa Dzong played a vital role as a main seat of the power of Bhutan. And then the Trongsa Penlop, the Trongsa governor, used to be very powerful. He used to be a powerful governors in Bhutan. We had 3 governors: eastern governors, then the western governors, southern governor, and then among all, Trongsa governor proved to be the strongest one. And then the father of the first king was also a Trongsa governor, and then he raised his power through by being a governor here. And also later, his son, the first king of Bhutan, was also Trongsa governors before becoming a king. Yeah. And then nowadays also that culture of appointing king as Trongsa governors before actually yes, like kind of enthroning on the power. So that culture is still being followed here in Bhutan. So every king, yeah.
Even the fifth king has become.
Yeah, he became a governor before becoming actual king of the country. History has lots of like kind of the significance in terms of the Trongsa governors and all. So in order to keep that culture alive, so they are still like appointing king as a Trongsa governors before actually like the enthrone, actually like they came into the power as a king. Yes. So we don't go inside the zone. And then this zone has been under the extensive renovation was like done in the 1927 and then in 1999 also. So they have done the major renovation of the fortress. Like in any other fortress, Trongsa fortress has been also divided into the administration this side and then monastic body this side, monastic center this side. Yeah. So we're going to visit the monastic center, and later if you want to have a view, then we can go to this side also. Okay, Mamiji, you got a stick. Very good. Give me a hand, Mamiji. I think it is going to. Yeah. Okay. So many climbing. Yes. Welcome.
The stairs were steep and it felt like a mini cardio session climbing them. but the views are totally worth it.
You're tired, Maji? No worries. We'll walk slowly, yes. Maji.
He's saying I will not go.
No, Maji, you should go. Just this and then another. Okay, come, Maji, I will help you here. This time we walk slowly, yes.
So many times.
Okay, so when I said it felt like a mini cardio session earlier, that was clearly an understatement. I have no idea how many more stairs we have got to climb, but it feels like they just keep coming.
Again.
You have to go here? Oh, awesome.
This way. Okay, come, Maji.
This is the monastery.
Yep.
And there is the.
If this isn't a full-blown stairway to the clouds, I don't know what it is.
Slowly, it is no problem.
Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, wait. Stop.
I made it.
Yes, another climbing are there. Some more climbing.
My mother also has stopped asking Puncho now how many more flights of stairs we have to cross.
Not out of
It's just that, we are just enjoying the climb up.
Why you open here?
No. Another more coming. This is not the end, Maji.
Oh, this is not the end.
No.
But don't. Can we see?
But now only two more.
2 more?
Yes, 2 more steps, then you reach to the top. Okay, Maji. So this is another one. After this, there's another set of steps. Then you reach to the top. Then.
That's why Sange is remind me.
Okay, so we'll just turn this one.
Take that stick.
Maji, make a round of this. Okay, so this is the one, Maji.
The last one?
Yeah, last one now. One, okay, slowly. Okay. Yes, okay, done. Maji has conquered the steps. Yeah, steps now. So we visit that as main temple, the assembly hall for the monk. Okay, we keep the shoe outside here.
Photography or videography is not allowed inside the temple, so I cannot show you inside. But there are many guardian deities and prominent deities of Buddhism who are present inside the temple. And now finally we are going down again through all those stairs that we came up.
Oh, while going out, we have to go around this. Okay.
I think this area has the most beautiful views with those gorgeous mountains right on the back. Trongsa Dzong easily stands out as one of the most beautiful zongs I have visited in Bhutan. First of all, its sheer scale is jaw dropping. It doesn't just sit on the landscape, it owns it. This zong seems to go on and on with layers and layers of structures, courtyards, and passageways that almost feel like a small fortress town of its own. And despite being massive, it's peacefully quiet and surreal. And the next big thing, no tourist crowds. Unlike the Western zongs, where you are dodging selfie sticks and tour groups, Trongsa Dzong is calm, serene, and almost meditative. You really get to take it all in, every mural, every detail, and every echoing prayer. Honestly, it's one of those places where time slows down and you feel like you have stepped into a different world.
They have covered these windows.
Alright, now it's time to hit the road again as we continue our journey towards Bumthang. The drive ahead is long but absolutely scenic, so buckle up because there's more mountain magic waiting for us just around the bend. Now we are crossing over from Trongsa to Bumthang. Yotongla Chorten is a sacred Buddhist stupa located at the Yotongla Pass in Bhutan, connecting the districts of Trongsa and Bumthang. It's a prominent landmark in this area, often seen with prayer flags flying around it. And Yotongla Pass is one of the highest mountain roads in Bhutan, and it is terribly cold right now. I cannot even explain how much. We are literally shivering. It's literally like moments ago we were having a bright sun, and suddenly we were in the middle of this dense cloud cover in this pass. Now that we have entered into Bumthang, let me tell you a little about the plan for the rest of the day. So right now we have entered from here, and if you see this track, this is what we are going to follow for the next couple of days, wherein the resort where we are going to be put up for tonight is this one. So we are going to stay back in Chumey Nature Resort. So this is our resort, and in the route that we are going to follow, this is the first stop ideally. But since today we have a plan of having some traditional Bhutanese lunch in Bumthang, so instead of going to hotel at this point in time, we will move straight to the Yidga Guesthouse, wherein we are going to have some traditional Bhutanese lunch. And after that, the agenda is to visit the Yathra Weaving Centre. So there is a place called Thokmed Yeshey handicraft, which is not very far away from the Yidga guest house. So we will be visiting the Yathra Weaving, which is very iconic to the Bumthang region. So that is going to be the next sightseeing point on our itinerary. Then if you see this line, we are supposed to go to the city center of Bumthang, or the core area where all the action is for this festive time. So this is the Jambay Lhakhang where the festivals are taking place, and primarily the agenda is to visit from tomorrow to witness the mask dances and all the other rituals. But tonight also we have a plan. I'll come to that in a bit. So as I was saying, that after visiting the Yathra Weaving Centre, we will go back and check into our Chumey Nature Resort. So we will just check into our rooms, freshen up a bit, maybe have some early dinner. And the plan for tonight is that we need to go to the city centre, which is like 1 hour from our hotel at this point, where there is going to be a few rituals tonight. So Mewang, the fire dance, that is one. Then there is something called as the naked dance, which happens very late in the night. I don't know whether we will be able to do that or not, but we will try. So that is the overall plan. And as I have already mentioned, that because it is season time, and if you don't book the tickets almost like 8 to 9 months or even earlier than that, you will not get any resort or hotel near the center of attractions. So that is what has happened with us also. We did not get an accommodation nearby the city center, and we had to select something with whatever we got. So we did not have much choices, and we selected Chumey Nature Resort, where we are going to be put up for the next couple of days. So I am expecting that it is going to be a good stay experience, because the nature around Chumey Nature Resort is very pretty. So let's see how it unfolds, and I'll take you along with me. So Bumthang isn't just a single town. It's actually made up of 4 main village blocks: Chumey, Chokhor, Tang and Ura. Each one has its own vibe and charm. So Chumey, where we are right now, is known for its vibrant Yathra weaving, those grandiose hand-woven wool textiles that you will spot all around. Chokhor is the main valley and kind of the heart of Bumthang, home to most of the big monasteries, cafes, guest house, and also the town of Jakhar. Then coming to Tang, which is on the right hand side, it is more offbeat and remote, perfect if you want that quiet, untouched Bhutanese village experience. And then there is Ura. It is the highest and perhaps the most scenic of them all, with sweeping pastures and traditional homes. It's also where the famous Ura Yakcho festival takes place. We have stopped for a traditional Bhutanese lunch at Yidga guest house. Unfortunately, some of the video footages got corrupted. Technology, So I'm popping in a few photos instead to give you a glimpse of the meal and the cozy vibe of the place. Now that finally we are in Bumthang, one thing that immediately stands out is the signature Bumthang weave, or the Yathra fabric. Everywhere you can find it. This kind lady served us one of the most delicious meals we have had in all of Bumthang. Simple, soulful, and made with so much of love. It was very cold outside, but the heater inside kept us warm, and we enjoyed our meal. The food consisted of local rice, some sort of saag, this beautiful potato curry. Then we had chicken, beans, and gondodachi. And how can I not mention about Ise, the vibrant and spicy chili condiment in Bhutanese cuisine. This was absolutely fantastic. After that simple and amazing lunch, I wandered into this little in-house shop they had. It was like a mini treasure trove. Beautiful local items on display, from hand-woven shawls to some insanely expensive incense sticks. Then there were also these cute fridge magnets and a few other souvenirs, all proudly made in Bumthang. But we decided to skip buying anything because we felt the prices were a little bit steep. So we thanked the host and we were on our way to the next stop. We met this cute guy also outside. We are in Chumey now, which is basically the heartland of Yathra Weaving in Bhutan. These vibrant textured fabrics are everywhere, in shops, balconies, clothesline, and they are not just pretty to look at, they are a huge part of Bumthang's cultural identity. Almost every household here has a loom. Yathra is a traditional woolen textile, hand-woven on backstrap or pedal looms, mostly by the women in the villages around Bumthang, especially in the Chumey Valley. It's believed that the weaving tradition was introduced here centuries ago by the Tibetan settlers, and over time it evolved into this incredibly unique style that's now native to this region. What makes Yathra special is the use of yak and sheep wool dyed in rich earthy colors. Think like deep reds, indigo blues, mustard yellows, and the bold geometric patterns that you will see on the shawls, bags, coats, even cushions. And the weaving process, it's slow, detailed, and done entirely by hand, which makes every piece one of a kind. This is a major source of livelihood for the families here, especially during the winter months when farming takes a backseat. And in a world full of fast fashion, it's so heartwarming to see something that is handcrafted, rooted in heritage, and still thriving today. This is where all the magic happens. We are now inside, and you can actually walk into the workspace and see the looms in action and watch the weavers at work, threading, pulling, weaving completely by hand. Many of these women have been doing this since they were teenagers, and they don't just make random patterns. Each design has a meaning, often inspired by nature, religion, or local legends. And they have an incredible eye for detail. I asked how long one shawl takes, and yeah, it can take days depending on the complexity. No two pieces are the same. We kept on admiring the work of this lady and how intricately she was weaving all these designs into the fabric. There's also a little shop attached, of course. You'll find everything from thick winter shawls to table runners, jackets, and even bags. Some of it can be very pricey, but once you see the labor and the love that goes into it, you get why. It's art, not just a fabric. If you are in this region, definitely make time for a stop like this. It's not just shopping, it's culture, history, and storytelling woven into every thread. Now, apart from the beautiful Yathra textiles, there was this other section in the store that completely caught my eye. It was filled with antique looking pieces, and think like old weapons, ornate daggers, crowns, traditional utensils, and all sort of rare knickknacks. Everything actually was on sale, though most of it looked like it belonged in a museum. And the prices, well, let's just say that they reflected how unique and rare these items were. But honestly, even just browsing through that space felt like walking through a little time capsule. It was such a delightful surprise and a real treat to see these treasures up close. Alright, now we are heading to our hotel for check-in. It should take us around 30 to 35 minutes from here. We'll get a bit of rest because, as I mentioned earlier, tonight we are coming back to Jambay Lhakhang at the town center to witness the first night of the festivals. It's going to be a beautiful experience with rituals and celebration continuing over the next few days, and we are hoping to soak in as much of it as we can over the next couple of days. So for now, just sit back and enjoy this stunning late afternoon views of Bumthang. The valley is glowing and it's honestly the perfect way to wind down before the evening picks up again. We have now entered an arterial road which takes us all the way to our resort, but it seems like we have hit a small roadblock on the way. So we have to check it out now. Okay guys, there is a bit of bad news now. The road ahead of us is completely dug up. Looks like some maintenance work was going on here and it has been left half done. It's all muddy, broken and honestly undrivable at this point. This happens to be the only road that leads to our resort, and with no alternative route, we are kind of stuck here. So Funcho called the hotel to ask for help, but apparently their car is also down, so it's going to take a while for them to arrange something. What is making it worse is that this is an arterial road and yet there's literally no one else around. So we have been waiting for about 20-25 minutes now and still no sign of help. Daylight is slipping fast, and as expected in most of the rural Bhutanese road, there is no street lights either. Just look at the condition of this road. It's a complete mess. I mean, no one from the hotel has shown up yet and it has been quite a while. Sange, being the absolute champ that he is, has gotten down and trying to fix things himself. He's adding some soil to give the tires a bit more grip and prevent it from getting stuck again. After struggling for like 40-45 minutes, finally Sange could actually drive the car over this patch.
Oh, done.
But frankly, I'm a little disappointed with the hotel. They should have either informed us in advance about the road situation or at least had some sort of plan in place to help the guests. Really not what you would expect during a peak tourist season. Little did we know back then that this was not the end of our miseries staying at this hotel. After that frustrating experience on the road, at least the first look of the resort did not disappoint. But here's a thing that you should keep in mind. There are a lot of stairs even till the reception. So if you're having any elderly people, then make sure you're taking enough care for this. Tucked away on the hillside, surrounded by pine forest and overlooking the Chumey Valley, the resort feels like one of those quiet hideouts where you can just breathe and take it all in. The setting is very peaceful and nothing but the sound of the bird and the rustling of the trees. It's got that perfect mountain retreat vibe. It's completely dark outside now and freezing cold too. The jacket I am wearing is definitely not enough, so we are layering up before we head out later tonight. But before that, let me give you a quick glimpse of the room here at Chumey Nature Resort. We are staying in the Domkar suite, which is the highest category room in this resort, and as you can see, it is super spacious. It's located on the first floor, so you need to do a little climb up a pretty steep flight of stairs to get here. No elevators around. The decor here is traditionally Bhutanese with bright red and white wall art. There's plenty of space for your luggage, a big mirror, a king-size bed with thick blankets, and 2 bedside tables, table lamps, and even a working desk with an old-school TV. Not that we will be watching TV anyway. The electric heater in the room was functional and kept the space warm, which was a big relief. And this is where it gets a bit disappointing. The geyser wasn't working at all. The water being absolutely ice cold, taking a proper shower was out of the question. We called the housekeeping for help, but honestly there were just a handful of young girls handling everything and they were swamped with prepping the dinner. So we had to make do with without hot water. Funcho reminded us that we needed to finish dinner by 6:30 so we could start for Jambay, Lhakhang and reach by 8 p.m. when the festivities would start. So after a quick face wash and bundling up in 3 layers, we headed downstairs for dinner. Unfortunately, the dinner experience was kind of average. The food didn't really stand out in terms of taste or variety. After dinner, we took the same road again and of course, we were back at the dreaded broken patch. It looked worse than before, probably damaged by a heavy vehicle that has passed through. The quick fixes that Sange had done earlier were completely gone. Despite informing the hotel earlier, nothing had been repaired. It was pitch dark, no lights, no people, just us stuck again. Funcho called the hotel and they said help was on the way, but honestly, I was losing all hope of making it to the festival. The only silver lining, a gorgeous full moon lighting up the night sky. It felt oddly calming. And luckily for us, a tourist bus from the hotel came soon after. Their driver along with Sange started working on the road again, and shortly after a few hotel staffs also joined in. So after about 30 minutes of effort, we finally made it through. While it was a relief, we could not help but worry about what we'd face on our way back later. But for now, we let that be and just soaked in the surreal beauty of the moonlit night.
the irrigation.
We have finally made it inside Jambay Lhakhang, the festival venue. And as you can probably tell, we are very late. The place is absolutely packed. It honestly feels like the entire district has shown up tonight. And there's barely any space for us to move. I can hardly see what's happening in the center of the courtyard unless I look through my camera lenses. But even from the edges, the energy is incredible. Families are huddled together, the aroma of the incense in the air, chants going. It's clear that this just isn't a performance, it's a deeply spiritual gathering. And I'll try to get as close as I can and share whatever glimpses I can capture from this magical night. It seems like there is one more festival that's going to happen in an open field, and now we are walking towards it because otherwise it will get crowded again. So we are waiting under the open sky. It is terribly cold in a pitch dark field with thousands of people waiting for only one thing, the fire to arrive. This is Mewang, the fire blessing ritual, and it's hard to describe just how surreal this moment feels. This is absolutely unreal. Locals, tourists, elderly, children, everyone is running through this corridor of fire as an act of cleansing their sins and seeking blessings for the next year. After witnessing that powerful spectacle of Mewang, we have made our way back into the temple compound, where there is a full-blown fair buzzing with life. It honestly feels like we have stepped straight into a vibrant Indian Mela. The beautiful blend of sacred and celebratory energy is what makes Bhutanese festivals so unique. You experience deep spirituality on one side, and right next to it, you see the community coming together in the most joyful and grounded way. After that intense adrenaline rush from the festivities, we are finally heading back to our hotel. We didn't wait around for the naked dance as it was scheduled for 1 am. But whatever exhaustion we felt earlier was completely wiped away by the sheer energy of the atmosphere. If this is just the beginning of the festival, I cannot wait to see what the next couple of days have in store for us. And yes, you might be wondering if we faced any issues in getting back to our room. Well, good news, the fix they did earlier did held up just fine, so no drama there. We are absolutely dead tired now, but feeling super amazing after such a fantastic, eventful day. I'll end the vlog here, but trust me, tomorrow is going to be just as power packed. Stay tuned, and as always, thanks for watching.
We can see the